Hi, good evening, and welcome to today's daily market summary. If you are new to the channel, I've had a couple of people join today. I do this every close of market. Video goes up about 6 p.m. West African time, where I review what went down on the NGX. With time, I guess in a couple of weeks or months, I probably would expand to other markets. And who knows if we get more content, other exchanges. You have the NASD. Maybe it's time to start covering them, but we need to see more activity in that space. Now, some housekeeping rules. First, this is not financial or trading advice. So, whatever you see here are just my thoughts, summary of happenings, or my views on stocks. This is not financial or trading advice. You need to crunch your numbers. And that is the essence of this channel. It simply is let's try and make the business of stocks, let's try and make the business of investing a bit simpler and all that. So I hope that's I've been able to achieve so far that goal. As also a request, please. Thank you for everybody who has been doing so. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It helps algorithm wise with to give more visibility to the channel. Thank you for everyone who's been doing so. In the last couple of days, I've been seeing more comments, more questions. Gradually, I'll try to accommodate as much as I can do so. Now, let's get right into it. What happened today? All share index dipped by 0.34%. Rally seems to have paused or slowed. As the case may be, index measures average performance of stocks on the exchange. So that means some stocks will do better than the index, some stocks will do worse than the index. So, how did today shape out? Top gainers for the day: a lot of small cap stocks: Julie, Austin Lars, NCR, Thomas Yacht, and Chams. Julie is in the, let's say, the retail space, up 10% to close at 9 naira and 90 kobo. Austin Lars, I believe, makes ice block equipment and a couple of other things, up 9.91% to close at 2 naira and 33 kobo. I'm surprised that this stock is doing so strongly, given that the company seems to be, will I say, in the middle of things, if I can use that term. NCR, if you've used an ATM machine at some point in time in the last 1 year within the country, Nigeria that is, at bare minimum, very, very likely you would have used an NCR machine. Last I remember, I think for GTCO is the parent company of GT Bank. GTCO has a couple of NCR machines. So NCR brings ATM machines into the country, up 9.43% to close at 8 naira and 70 kobo. Thomas Yacht. Thomas Yacht is in the paper segment. They make notebooks, they make other paper products. I think they're also going into tissue production as well. So up 8.19% to close at 3 naira and 70 kobo. This stock, I saw, I must confess, I was expecting it to decline given the poor unaudited FY24 numbers. But well, you can feel one way or you can see things one way. Markets might decide to move the other way. Charms is in the ICT segment. I think rights issues should be ongoing or should be about to kick off soon. Charms up 8.06%. Stock is trading, above rights issue price, I believe, which is kind of what people would expect as well, in order to stimulate investors to take part in the rights issue. Moving to the losers, CI leasing. Your focus is in the leasing space, down 10%, close at 722 20 kobo. Watch out for Spotify. I'm very likely I'm going to be doing an episode on CI leasing over the weekend. As I did last weekend, I probably am going to work and have 4, 5, 6 episodes out back to back on Saturday. Hopefully, I don't end up with all gray hair at this point. But well, business is business. We must keep pushing. Lasaco is in insurance space. As I said, some form of profit taking is happening in that space. So Lasaco down 10% to close at 4 naira 50 kobo. Wema Bank, tier 2 bank, down 10% as well to close at 20 naira and 70 kobo, I believe. UPDC is in the real estate space. Stock down essentially 10%. So because 9.98, if you're going to approximate, if my math says me correct, you can round it up to 10%. So UBDC down 9.98% to close at 7 naira and 20 kobo. International energy insurance sector as well, down 9.98% as well to close at 3 naira and 70 kobo. Let's move over to volume. Insurance stocks remain in play here. What I'm seeing here, the top 5 most actively traded stocks by volume are all from the insurance space. Universal Insurance, 390 million shares traded. ICO, 236.5 million shares traded. Link Assure is a stock I have been watching closely because if you look at the last 10, 15 trading sessions on the NGX, that stock very likely has traded over a billion shares. By my count, it's probably pushing 1.5 billion shares. So the question I'm wondering, and I'd like to be answered, who is buying these shares? I do not think, by my own view, that these are retail players. Because when you're seeing 200 million, 300 million, 500 million shares trading so large, you might argue the stock is a bit cheap. But that's considering the number of shares issued by this firm, which I think is somewhere between 10 billion to 11 billion. Once you start seeing huge volumes like that, it very likely tells you that you have a key investor positioning or a key investor exiting. So the question is, who's the person doing so, or who is what entity is doing so? So I'll keep watching. Hopefully I get answers for that. Mutual benefits assurance, 157.5 million shares today, while Regency Alliance Insurance runs up top 5 by volume with 109.8 million shares traded. Finally, top most actively traded stocks by value, the top 5. Some of the usual blue chip firms you have here: Nigerian Breweries, NB, ticker symbol, ICO, not ICO, Access Corporation, parent company of Access Bank, GTCO, parent company of GT Bank, the Orange Bank. These are, I would like to say, are regular, have regular appearances in terms of most active by value. A few new names here. ICO has been trading large volumes, and obviously that goes with the value as well, with a 1.1 billion shares traded. LR 1.7 billion, and it's quite interesting to see LR and Nigerian Breweries almost at par in terms of volumes. Nigerian Breweries 1.8 billion shares traded. I would check. I've had the time, I have to do this video, but I'm sure in tomorrow's pre-market videos I'm going to check. And shout out to the team at Infoware. You should check them out as well. Great with market analytics. So you want to know institutional plays, RSIs, technicals, and all that. You want to check out Infoware. I think they should have the content as well up on their YouTube channel, or wherever you find social media. And so I'll probably incorporate some of the data there into my pre-market videos. So to round it up, Nigerian Breweries 1.8 billion worth of shares traded, most actively traded stock by value. LRX closely following, 1.7 billion worth of shares traded. Access Corporation, parent company of Access Bank, 1.2 billion shares traded. ICO Insurance, 1.1 billion shares traded, while GTCO, parent company of the Orange Bank, GT Bank, with 765.1 million shares traded. And before you go, in case you haven't done so, please follow the channel on the podcast, Greenticker Podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube Music. You can also find content on greentickertales.com. I'll do watch out on Saturday. I'm going to have a chunk of episodes going back to back to back on Spotify. I've not decided which of the companies I would look at. I can assure you though, I would be taking C&I Leasing and a few other companies. So I can't mention the rest because I've not yet made my mind, but I can assure you I would have a post on CI Leasing up sometime on Saturday. So start to check from maybe 10 a.m., noon, West African time on Saturday. You'd find that well. For my folks in Kenya, Asante Sana, I believe that's the greeting over there. I see you guys as well on Saturday. I would pick, I'm not decided yet, but I definitely will pick one or two of the banking numbers and walk through them. So 10 a.m. Saturday on YouTube. Watch out. I look at some of the Kenyan banking numbers that have been released. So stay safe, and I see you guys in tomorrow's pre-market video. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Thank you for doing so, and have a lovely, lovely, lovely day ahead.